You know how excited I am for this next series. Oilers versus Kings.
The Gretzky series.
My second favorite team next to the
Oilers?
Leafs, the Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking about that. They're not actually my second favorite team. Everyone still thinks I hate Edmonton, which I absolutely don't. But as I mentioned, Lepore, they are a big favorite against LA. They are a minus 250 favorite over the Kings. Now, before I throw it to you, their season series was very close. It was 2-2. All 4 games were decided in regulation. The Kings actually outscored the Oilers 10-9. Like, these teams were very tight. But Edmonton is on an absolute heater to end the season. They finished the year on a 9-game winning streak and went 14-0-1 over their last 15 games. Who do you have in this series, Lepore?
Okay. To be honest, I'm kind of disappointed on how this played out because a few weeks back, as a neutral, I was really and truly looking forward to this series. I thought it was 2 even teams, but 2 very different teams. And there were so many factors involved that could turn the series on its head. Going back to these teams playing last year, I mean, that added tension. So I think a couple weeks ago, I would have picked the Kings. I would have said, you know what? I think LA gave Edmonton fits last year. I think they're a better team this year. I'm going with the Kings. But I look at what you just pointed out, 14-0-1 in their last 15 games, Edmonton is, and the Kings didn't finish strong. They were 5-5 in their last 10. So I look at that. I look at Edmonton firing on all cylinders. You have the McDavid factor. I can't pick the Kings to win this series. I want to. I want it to be somewhat controversial for it to be fun. And in case anyone hasn't noticed, some of my picks are based on just what would be the most fun scenario. But I'm going to say Edmonton wins this series in 6 games.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree. And I honestly think like 90% of hockey fans would probably agree with you and say that Edmonton's going to win this series. I think this is going to be really tight. I mean, listen, I've come around on Edmonton. Last year, I thought they had a lot more flaws. I thought they were pretty fraudulent. It's the word that I keep throwing around about the Oilers, and their fans keep attacking me about it. Guess what? I'm going to keep bringing up that word just to piss you guys off even more. All right. But listen, I don't hate the Edmonton Oilers. I think they're a great team. It's impossible to ignore how good this team has played down the stretch. 14-0-1 over their last 15. Now, listen, their schedule was pretty easy, all right? They weren't playing a lot of juggernaut teams in that stretch, but that's still extremely impressive to finish the year without a regulation loss going 14-0-1. I mean, I don't care who you're playing. That's impressive. The Kings are going to give them problems, man. I really like this Kings team. They're well-structured. They're good defensively. I think the only thing that should scare Edmonton fans at this point is the goaltending. We've never seen Stuart Skinner in a spot like this. Like, we do not know how this guy's going to perform in the playoffs. Now as like the unquestioned number 1 guy, because Jack Campbell's not going to play in the playoffs unless Stuart Skinner completely shits the bed. I mean, I don't think there's any chance we're going to see Jack Campbell in a playoff game at this point. He's been horrible. It's hard. It's hard to bet against Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl the way they have been playing. I really think the Kings are going to give them problems, though. Before I give my prediction, I will say I'm going to be betting a little bit of money on the Kings to win this series because I think this is mispriced. I don't think they should be plus 210.
Okay.
I'm going to bet a little bit of money on the Kings. But saying all that, and this might sound completely contradictory, I do think Edmonton's going to win this series in 7 games.
7.
I have the Oilers in 7. I don't think it's going to be a blowout as many people might be predicting because the Edmonton Oilers have been incredible down the stretch, and McDavid finished with over 150 points, and it's just been sunshine and rainbows in Edmonton. This Kings team, man, you have Philip Deneau. We saw what he did against the Leafs, man, a couple of years ago. Again, I don't want to say Philip Deneau is like Patrice Bergeron or anything like that.
Yeah.
But they got talent, man. Adrian Kempe scored 40 goals this year. Last year, Edmonton did not play this Kings team with Drew Doughty and Victor Arvidsson in the lineup. All right, this is a fully healthy Kings team at this point. I think they're going to cause problems, but I think the top-end talent of the Oilers gets them through. and they're probably going to get a bunch of power plays and convert on those. That's another thing that could cause some problems is if they don't get a lot of power plays and they got to win this series at 5-on-5, I think it could be tight. So I have the Oilers in 7, but I will be putting a little bit of money on the Kings at plus 210.
Nice. Did in the history of the National Hockey League, has there been a quieter 40-goal season than what Adrian Kempe put up?
I know. I was shocked. Like, I saw it on Twitter the other day. They were like, he was so excited about hitting 40 and gushing about his teammates and whatever. I was like, what? He scored 40 goals? Yeah, it's that snuck up on me as well. But I'm telling you, man, this Kings team, I talked about the season series. They outscored Edmonton 10-9 in the season series this year. Like, these are going to be tight games, man.
Yeah,
they're not going to. They don't want to run and gun with Edmonton. They don't have the talent that Edmonton has. But there's going to be a couple 2-1, 3-2 games in this series, maybe a couple overtime games as well.
Yeah. So you're talking about the line. I meant to ask you this before about like the Leaf series. So we all know you never get good value on the Leafs because they create so much action. So I've seen, you mentioned you saw it at 160. I've seen it as low as 150. We say, 150, 160. Okay. But again, you don't get good value on the Leafs. So what is the real and true line for that series in Vegas's mind? And to that, I would say, is it also pushing it the other way because of the history and because it's the Tampa Bay Lightning? So is 150, 160 actually a true line? Because again, you get shit value on the Leafs, but history is pushing it back the other way. And I mean, make of that what you wish and analyze that how you want. But I've always told people I'd love to see really and truly how that stuff works and how they create that line based on the experience of their experience and like who's betting what and what they're betting. So, but I'd like to know for that series in particular. And I do agree that that Kings Oilers series is mispriced. Again, picking Edmonton to win, but to get plus 210, Kings all day, man.
Yeah, I do agree with you about the Leafs series. Like, I think maybe it's mispriced a little bit as well, but I do feel like the minus 160, and you said some books have it as like minus 150, minus 155. I think more or less it's right. Like, that's where it should be. But I think the only thing that's really pushing it to the Lightning side at this point is the history. Or else the Leafs, I think, would honestly be a bigger favorite.
So I was going to say, so if this was exactly the same team, and by that I mean the Lightning, but it was Carolina, you would say like it's got like a minus 200, like minus 180 or something?
I would even compare, like, let's say the Leafs were playing Florida. Because if you think about it, Florida finished like, what, 5 points behind the Lightning? Like, I think the Leafs would be like a minus 200 favorite.
Yeah.
Probably against Florida.
Kind of weird,
the
right?
Islanders for that matter.
Yeah. You look at it last year, every team in the East hit 100 points. Yeah. They made the playoffs. So the record Tampa put up this year wouldn't even have made the playoffs. Funny.
It's wild.
Right? Yeah.